Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joe Martin and I just got an offer accepted on my next project. Just before we jump into the video, you might have seen on Instagram, I've launched a new service dedicated to helping you build your own portfolio. If you're looking to ensure you make a great investment, make sure to leave your details in the link below so I can personally reach out to you to see if I can help. I'll give you all my experience and advice from purchasing to renovating and then letting the property out to make sure you're on the right tracks to becoming a successful investor. Right, back to the video then. And I've just met up with the estate agent who is selling the property to see what his opinion is on the area and the investment opportunity. Right, I'm here with Michael from Michael Hollenby Estate Agents. Thanks for taking the time to discuss a bit about property. What can you tell me about the area and what's the area like?
Brilliant. So we're over on Carham Road, which is just on the outskirts of Lincoln, just in what's known as the West End. It's always been traditionally a really popular location, traditional sort of Victorian Edwardian properties. And one of the key benefits is it's so close back into the city centre. You can either walk back along Carham Road, but also you've got the canal walk back into the city as well and down to the Brayford Pool. In addition though, just a couple of moments across the other side of the road there, you've got the open spaces of the West Common, great for sort of schooling, local shops, amenities. We've got the car across the road, petrol station, Sainsbury's local just down the road. But also always been very popular with the university, particularly over the last 10 years again, because it's within walking distance again of the university, so great location. And also with Lincoln, it's up and coming with students as well, isn't it? Like the immense of students that come into this the city is incredible, isn't it? Have you seen that there's more students looking to buy on the back of their university experience? Yeah, definitely. What we've actually found is that there's lots of different trades over the university being in Lincoln. First of all, it's brought a huge amount of income and revenue into the city. Obviously, the massive intake of the students coming here. We're seeing more and more high percentage of students that have studied here staying in Lincoln. And the other interesting fact is we're seeing lots of parents of students that have obviously visited over the years. They've actually thought what a great city and have also moved here as well. So it's had a big impact, as I say, on revenue, even companies, retail outlets, food outlets coming into the city. But in addition to that, obviously more housing and more people obviously coming to live in Lincoln as well. So it's a really good area to invest in now, isn't it, really? Before, obviously, people are starting to flock to this university. It's still a relatively new one. And obviously you've got lots of jobs and prospects, not just in the university as well. So what sort of tenant do you think, other than a student, that this property would attract as well? Yeah, so from a student rental market, as I say, we've covered obviously the student sort of tenancy in that respect. But again, if you go for more of a 3-bedroom property, this one in particular on Carham Road that you bought with us here is a 2-bedroom. But I know you've got big plans with the renovation and to turn this into a 3-bed. The reason I talk about that is the 3-bedroom properties in this location tend to rent out a little bit quicker, and you tend to find that the tenancy occupation over a period of 3 to 5 years is greater. Because traditionally, if you go to a 2-bedroom over a period of maybe 3 to 5 years, you're probably likely to move into a slightly bigger property further on. So tenancy, occupation rate is good, don't have long void periods, and the tenants tend to stay here for a few more years. That's brilliant. Can you tell us a bit about like the GDV, what you'd expect on the back of a renovation? So obviously you mentioned how I'm looking to renovate it from a 2 to a 3-bed. What would the GDV look like on this as a 3-bed now, and then 3 to 5 years from now, for example? Okay, yeah, great question. So obviously when we showed you around the property and you were doing your accounts and your figures about your renovation, obviously the price bracket ceiling point in regard to a 2-bed is probably capped at around about that 170, 180 at the moment. Whereas when you go to the 3-bedroom property market, you're looking around about that sort of 220 to 250. So again, great project for you on this one, particularly with the converting to that 3-bed. In regard to capital growth, and again, this is where it's really useful talking to investors, is it's always difficult to always forecast what's going to happen. If we're taking into account COVID in the last 2 or 3 years, nobody foresaw that. But what we always say as agents is what's happened in the past usually gives an indication of what's going to happen in the future. So if we look at the last 5, 10, 15 years, particularly in this area, we've seen properties even selling at 40, 50 grand many years ago, then going up to the 80, 90. I remember when this location started getting over 100,000, people were thinking, cracky,
it's going
properties in this area going over 100 grand. And now we're seeing them, as I say, somewhere in the region of that sort of 170, 180 bracket. So over the next few years, definitely the demand is always going to be there. These properties are always very, very popular. So I'd always anticipate a growth year on year around about sort of 3.5% each year, to be fair.
Yeah, which is interesting you said as well, because I'm looking to buy valuable assets now. You can buy cheap assets and you can get a really good return on investment, but the capital, we both know that the capital growth is like the main thing, isn't it? If you're in a good location, it's just going to there's going to be more people looking to buy there. It's just going to keep going. So it makes a more sense long term to buy a good valuable asset than a cheap one, for example.
Yeah, obviously different investors have different business models. I've been an agent in Lincoln for over 30 years, and whenever I'm talking to investors, we always say, you can make money quite quickly, particularly if you're looking to flip. But if you're looking for yield on a rental property, which is where a lot of investors look at, if they're getting a good yield better than the money sitting in the bank, it's a good option. Yep. But capital growth is something that I always talk about. Yes. If you've got a forecast for 5 to 10 years, that's where you can start to make some good returns. And as you'll know, in several years you can revalue the property, remortgage the property, and take capital out of that again to expand your portfolio.
That's right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for taking the questions today. And let's have a look at the property. Right, so the first thing you can see here is this door looks pretty good. I mean, it's good condition, which is good news because new doors are expensive. So it just needs a bit of a clean down. And the radiators and the skirting board looks pretty good. I just need a bit of a clean. But the flooring might be a bit of an issue. So as you can see here, it dips down a bit towards the end. So this floor just needs ripping out and replacing. The whole of the ground floor probably needs replacing, which is what it is. As you can see here, a bit of damp as well. Could be condensation damp. It could be handshake of damp as well. So we'll get a dehumidifier in here first and see if because the property's been left shut for months now, so it could be condensation damp, so it's not too much of a big deal, but we will leave some money just in case we need to put some damp treatment in or anything like that. The windows look pretty good. Bit of a cracked window there, so I might need to replace that. Chimney breast just needs some plaster repair. You see some water damage there as well, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue to fix. New flooring, sort out some of the damp, some of the plastering work needs redoing. This will be the new kitchen. So what we'll do, Scott, is we'll board this wall up here, and then we'll create units all the way around. So you have your kitchen units here, and then this will be your kitchen. Nothing too bad, I don't think. This is the current kitchen, so I'll be ripping out all these units, and this will be boarded up from here to there. That'll be a really nice small shower room or bathroom if we can fit a bath in there. We might need to move this boiler somewhere else, just because of the zones of water and that sort of thing. So as you can see, this is the newly renovated bathroom. It's a bit of a shame to actually remove it, but we need the extra living space. So this will be the new bedroom. So we'll be ripping out this bathroom here, a new bedroom in there. We'll be opening up this room here. So part of this will be the new bathroom here, and then this will be the new bedroom. And then finally onto the last bedroom, which is a box room. We won't be doing too much to this room, to be fair, just maybe re-skimming all the walls upstairs, to be fair, and new flooring. The GDV is the most important figure when looking at buy, refurbish, refinance projects. Let's have a look at the comparables. Let's have a look at some of the comparables a quarter of a mile from this property. So the property next door is a 3-bed in good condition and has just sold subject to contract for £185,000. 145 Carhome Road sold for £215,000 in August 2023. And 13 Tennyson Street sold for £280,000 in October 2023. Now we've got a good idea of the area and the recent comparables, let's get in touch with a local chartered surveyor to see what sort of price he would value this property. We spoke before about Carhome Road. I just wanted to just clarity on what and how much you think it would be worth done up?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it depends on when it gets done and what the market is at that point. But as it is right now, if it's done up in the right way, then you'd be looking at around 180. I would say 180 to 200, there or thereabouts, where you're going to be.
That's brilliant, mate. Yeah, so 180 to 200 with it really done up nicely as a 3-bed.
Do you know what I would do? If I'm being brutally honest with you, if you've got the money to do it.
Yeah, go on.
You look at getting the lock converters and then pushing it to an additional to like 4 rather than 3, and sticking an ensuite in the loft area.
Say that one again, sorry, Ron.
Getting the loft converted if you can go into the roof,
yeah,
putting another room in there,
and
going to like a 4 rather than just simply doing the 3.
Right, okay, yeah.
Because then you're increasing your habitable space as well, and it's just a 4-bedroom rather than a 3, isn't it? Because obviously it's a 2 at the moment. You said you were going to convert it into a 3.
Yeah, that's right.
And then redo it. But if you did that and then moved up and let's say converted the loft and put if you could do it and then put an ensuite in the loft, then that push into the realms of 240.
Got you. Wow. Okay. So you're looking at about 180 to 200 3-bed, and then realms of 240 with the loft conversion with 4-bed.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, Ron. That's great. Based on this conversation and my own due diligence, I'm going to use £180,000 as my gross development value figure. Let's have a look at the numbers. Right then, let's have a look at the numbers then. So I secured this property below market value for £121,000. So I'll be putting down a 25% deposit, which would be £30,250. 3% stamp duty would be £3,630. We're paying legals and mortgage for the purchase and the refinance for £2,000. Conservative figure for the renovation would be £25,000. The estate agent fee, making sure that the tenant's properly vetted, will be £500. And then because I'll be buying this through traditional means, I'll be paying a £3,000 early repayment charge to exit the original mortgage product. So the total investment for this property will be £64,380. So let's have a look at the refinance part of this deal then. So I've got a gross development value of £180,000 for this project. I'll be taking out a 75% loan to value mortgage, which would be £135,000. I'll be then taking away the existing mortgage, which is 75% of £121,000 purchase price, which is £90,750. So the money out of this deal will be £44,250, which means that the total money left in for this project will be £20,130. Let's have a look at the return for this investment then. So the property will be rented out for £1,000 per month. The mortgage, based on a 5% interest rate, will be £562. The building insurance will be £22. And the voids and the maintenance, based on 5% of the gross rent, will be £50 for each one, which means a net profit of £316 per calendar month and £3,792 per year. So the return on capital employed for this property will be the net profit divided by the money left in the deal, times that by 100, which is 18.8%. So I'm happy with the 18.8% because it's a real figure and it's factoring in the minimum refinance figure, contingencies with refurb costs, and also voids and maintenance when it's just been fully renovated. It's also in a brilliant area and will have excellent capital appreciation in the coming years. Right, thanks for watching today guys. I hope you enjoyed this content and it's added value to your property journey. If you can like and subscribe, that would be brilliant. It would really help out the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.